Welcome to Finca Courses in here in Spain. Today we're talking all about the trail arm in the backswing, and we're going to show you how it should work to give you the best chance of hitting those all-elusive crisp iron shots. So thank you for joining me here in Spain. This is Finca Courses in, top 5 course in Spain, and behind me is the par 3 17th, and we're going to use this hole to talk about how this trail arm moves in the golf swing. This video is going to look at what it does in the backswing, and then there's going to be a second video released in a couple of days which looks a little bit more at the downswing, just because there's quite a bit to cover, and we're going to separate it into 2 videos. Just before we get started, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would love you to be so. There's a clickable link at the end of the video, or there's a link in the description box down below. More videos coming each and every week helping you play some better golf. So, trail arm. I would say that the trail arm is one of the things that plagues more golfers than not. Lots of golfers really struggle with moving this trail arm in the right way. Now, we have to accept that for many, there's a few limitations or restrictions in how the shoulder works, but we're going to give you some ideas on what you can look for at setup, takeaway, and a halfway back to help you really get that trail arm moving a little better. So let's begin with the takeaway. Sorry, the setup. When you look at your golf swing from face on, but you don't have to, you can look at this from here, I want you to feel a little bit as if the inside of the elbow is facing the camera that you can see there. What I wouldn't want is to have this elbow rotated this way, so the back of my elbow is facing the camera behind me and the inside of my elbow is facing the target. So I want you to actually feel like you rotate the arm in this fashion, and then you use the bottom part of your arm, which is your forearm, to place your hand on the golf club. So that's a great little exercise you can do. Open the arm up this way so the inside of your arm points away from you, and then you just use the forearm rotation to place the hand back on. Lots of golfers would use the shoulder rotation to place the hand back on. So for you watching this, you may actually see, and you might have seen this in previous videos, I almost have a little kind of movement like this before I take the club away. That's almost my little trigger to get that arm in position. Once I've got that, in the takeaway, what we should find is the arm is beginning to fold. So you can see there's a little bit more fold in my arm now than there was at setup. So the starting position really helps this first move away. If I really struggle with that setup, it becomes very difficult to achieve this. So notice how my arm is starting to fold, and it's starting to what I call sit down a little bit. All too often I'll see the golfers start with a poor position here, and then in that takeaway the elbow starts to retract behind them. You can see how that looks very, very different to the position we just went through here. So we start with the arm rotated correctly, and we begin to let that arm fold in the early part of the golf swing. Now, we don't want to do that too much. We'd still like some width in there. We wouldn't want this arm kind of folding too much, but having a nice blend of a bit of width but allowing the arm to fold is pretty key. We can progress that to halfway, and at halfway I really want you to feel like your elbows are pretty level and they're being squeezed together. So elbows close and elbows level. That's a great feeling for you to get this trail arm in position. Again, it's all linked to setup. Setup poor, takeaway poor, and then at this point here we often see these elbows very separated, trail elbow too high. These golfers often get very, very flat with the lead arm. They struggle to keep the arm extended, and they really, really find a poor position at the top with the elbows separated. And really, it's all due to how they were rotating or not rotating this trail arm in the backswing. We have 2 movements that we can do. The arm can bend, or it can fold, and we really need it to fold correctly. So even just one-handed swings, and start to feel what a bend would be like. My palm stays facing the target, and what a fold would be like when my palm starts to face away to the camera opposite. So starting with a little bit of elbow away, letting it fold early on, and then halfway back, having it nicely folded, palm should face away from you, elbows should be pretty level. The second video, as we said, is going to cover the downswing, but more difficult to achieve a good downswing if the backswing isn't quite right. So really, focus on these things first. Make sure the trail arm is folding correctly, and then that second video is really going to give you some ideas on what you can do to deliver the club to the ball. Right, I've got an 8-iron here into this par 3. What a great looking hole this is. And I reckon 8-iron should be about right to get me in the middle of that green. Little right at the flag, but if it's the right club, that should leave me at about 15 feet for birdie. Right, trail arm, get that moving better. Definitely going to help you with your backswing. Huge thank you to Finca Courses in. This course behind me is absolutely stunning, I'm sure you'll agree. Top 5 course in Spain, well worth a visit if you're in the area. Usual stuff is down below, comments box, like button, and at the end, over here. Clickable link that will allow you to be a free subscriber of my channel. Would love to have you along for the journey and help you play some better golf this year. Thanks for watching.